Welcome back to Minecraft. Hello, hello, hello. I just cleared off so much stuff off of my Elgato backup. My god, we've got loads of space now to do all of the recording. I had been holding off from doing any recording because I literally had no space whatsoever. Now I have. I'm very, very happy. So today we are going to be working on the barracks. We're going to be doing the barracks of Dollarhide, the main northern barracks to be precise. No, it would technically be the southern barracks. We're doing like the entire layout of this place completely opposite. Hello. We're going to be working on the barracks because it connects up to the sides of this lovely gatehouse that we are like, I want to say we're solidly like halfway through finishing it. It might not feel like that when we actually get around to doing it, but that's what I'm claiming it is. So I brought over some shulker boxes. Where have I put them? Are they on me? No, these are not the ones that I want. I did get some mangrove logs. Aha, these are the ones that I want. So I brought over some of these, and I brought over a stone cutter because we're going to be using a couple of new blocks. Let me go ahead and show you guys if I... Oh, no, not that. That was a really bad example because it's wrong. Maybe we can throw stone in here? Okay. So we've got all these new blocks. Now, the issue with these blocks, if I go ahead and make a stone smooth block, is that... Oh, not that. Is that if I place it, okay, lovely block, fantastic texture. Takes absolutely forever to pissing mine. Because apparently add-ons can't change the mining speed of blocks in Bedrock. I'm sure I saw that apparently since this new winter drop update they can. So I'm hoping that with an update, you know, that's fine. The update's only been out like a week. So I'm not expecting the add-on to get updated immediately. But when it does get updated, I'm hoping that that's what they update for it. But I would like to use a couple of these blocks. If I can avoid misplacing them, that would be fantastic. I have already started using them down here. So I've been layering a lot of them into the floor here because there's a lot of alternate kind of cobble designs. And I love moist towelettes. I love this cobblestone texture here where it's kind of like 4 large pieces of cobble. It reminds me more of the cobble that I would experience like if I went to a city like York. Like if you've ever been to York and you've walked down the Shambles. I mean, you can give it a Google if you have no idea what I'm talking about. But there's some famous streets in York that are medieval Tudor streets that I'm sure they've been upkept. But for the most part, they've remained the same since that era. And there's very famous cobble streets down there, so that's the kind of vibe it gives me. But today we're going to be using some of these blocks, I'm hoping, to build the barracks. So I'm going to remove this wool. You can see there's a lot of wool just all over this bloody place because I've been mapping out vaguely where buildings will go in the hope to kind of spur me along a little bit more. I'm probably going to do some of these off camera. So you might just click on a video and there'll be a couple of houses here, a couple of houses there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I don't know if I'm going to be using cobblestone in the sides of the walls for this. I haven't really decided, to be honest. I'm definitely going to go from this block, though. So we're going to go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I reckon we'll turn it here, 2, 3, 4. But then we're going to jut out a little bit here to add a bit of shape to the thing. And then go back in, out, shake it all about. And this would connect straight up to the wall, I would assume. One would assume. I don't really know where the wall's going to go. I haven't really figured that part out just yet. I've sort of been like... I think all of this is going to get terraformed further out. Again, I would assume all of this is going to get terraformed a little bit further out, and we can sit the wall kind of behind the barracks. It's a bit of a pain in the backside, really, me working on the barracks this early on, because I haven't got the wall sorted, but it's fine. We're not going to really talk about that. That's fine. We don't talk about the issues that I'm going to be having further down the line by doing this now. Okay, so we're going to get all of the first floor of this place done and dusted, and then we'll see what we can add on to it. Why does it feel like I've spent, like, weeks between building this time? And I actually haven't. It's only been, I don't know, like, what in the world is going on? Good God. The most awful, imposing sound you could have possibly heard. That was terrifying. Let me go ahead and check. I want to check the andesite blocks for this. There's a lot of andesite blocks. That's insane. Do we maybe want, like, some andesite brick thrown in here? Tile bricks? I don't think the tile bricks look a bit naff. But, I mean, we could do cut block or brick pattern. God, I'm taking a risk here by making these blocks and throwing them into the build. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Never mind. Oh, there's no risk here at all. Oh, that's a lovely one. Oh, we'll be dotting that in everywhere. Oh, that's very nice. So I used to add textures in like this through randomized texture packs, like little variation texture packs. And I bought one off of the marketplace a couple of years back, I think during lockdown times. And oh God, what was it called? I'm sure it was some sort of riff on, like, oh no, on vanilla textures. Oh no. It was some sort of, like, better defaults texture pack, I'm sure of it. And I loved it. It added in so many little variations to things. I thought it was, like, the best thing that had ever happened to me. Little did I know we would get add-ons a couple of years later, and I would hate them at first and then grow to like them when I realised their potential on realms. I feel like if maybe it was limited to offline worlds, then I probably wouldn't like it as much. But that being said, I can't see me now stopping if I ever have to turn this into an offline world. I don't see me ever giving up on this project now. This is like the final attempt that I'm having at this project. I had videos on the channel from, like, I want to say maybe 2 years ago of me on this exact seed working on a very similar build with, like, a castle and all sorts of stuff going on. Like, this has been my project now for what feels like half a decade. I can't give up on it. Go to bed, go to bed, go to bed. We need to go to bed. It's getting very dark, I don't like it. I think I want to have maybe, like, an elevated... I can't really do it there because the road is too small. Oh no, I haven't done the outcropping. I've just completely ignored the outcropping. Oh, I wondered why it looks so weird, you know. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to, like... We're gonna have to invert the outcropping. Oh, no. That's not good at all. We're gonna have to do that. And just invert the outcropping. I've got to do it there because I have those custom blocks in the other sections. I could do another no, I can't do it there. It's too close to the corner. Okay, we could have an upstairs second floor access here around this side. Me just put that there. Just as like a little outline thing for me to remember since I forgot everything else. Can we invert it on this side as well? Because I don't... There's got to be like a spot of... No, there isn't. There's not a free wide gap here that I can invert. I'm going to have to just painfully break that block up there. Oh, and that block there. Oh, this is awful. I mean, when they update this pack, it'll be like the best add-on on the marketplace. But right now, very, very painful. But we're going to combat that. We're not going to break that one. I'm just going to make this section here inverted and not the rest of it. See? See? We've got plans in place here. And then this would be... Let me throw that down there. Put like a double door there. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it would look weird that I haven't dug out that side there. But I think it'll be okay. I think the lopsidedness helps. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Okay, let's dig in some window placement. So I definitely want a window there. And I want a window there. We'll have a window there. Avoiding these blocks. I'm definitely not avoiding those blocks. I'm just trying to... I don't know what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and get some planks so that we can lay out the interior of this thing as well. So we've got... I don't know, we could have like a room here with like maybe a wall going along here. So you walk straight in and like maybe we have like a bit of a hallway sort of thing. Not a hallway, an archway, right? We have two. The majority of this is going to get deleted, by the way. I'm just purely planning. So we've got this like little lobby kind of area, space. Lobby. It is literally a place of war. I don't know what else to call it though. I think maybe we could put a staircase going like up there. And then it shouldn't interfere with the staircase that we've got on the outside too much. If it does, then we'll just have to push that one back. Okay. I've run out of spruce. This is not going very well. I am all over the place right now. The second long play on the channel and I'm making a real mess of it. Okay. So then, we don't need any windows on this side, it's all going to get boarded up. We don't need any windows on that side, we can't have any windows there. We need an entryway that gets us inside of this tower. Boom. Go ahead and put the floor down there. I don't know, like, how do you interior decorate a barracks? I mean, we've got tool racks and stuff. I suppose we can do stuff like that. Maybe, like, training dummies and seating areas, things like that. Like, I guess it's mostly rest areas, isn't it? But I want... Okay. Oh, I think I've kind of, like, clicked it myself. So, we go through here, and we're going to have some tables, and probably, like, a canteen area. I think this whole area here would be like a kind of canteen, guard kitchen, kind of lounge space, so that if you're off duty or like you're getting ready to start a shift, you want to grab a quick bowl of soup or whatever before you start your shift, you can. You know, we can have, I think they have cauldrons in one of the packs, but we could crack up like a little cooking area, right? And maybe we can throw in like a training dummy or two. But I know, so over here I marked out an area for like a training yard, so I don't want to go too overboard with it over here. And then you go upstairs, and we're going to have kind of like an upstairs bunkhouse. But it's going to be a bit of a weird shape. So what kind of, how tall do we want to go with this thing? I'm thinking... The entire... No, I don't even think the entire second floor. Do we want, like, bunkhouse access to the guard tower? I think we do. If we can, I want to kind of add in some roofing sections, if possible. So let me grab some of these. Oh god, the music kicked in and I shit my pants. I did not know what that noise was. Good god, man. Let me get a couple more of these horrible blocks that look amazing but I hate using. Was it those ones? I think it was. Right, so up here, we need enough space. I'm thinking... Oh, I haven't got... Oh, no! No, I keep forgetting to bring things upstairs with me and it's pissing me off. Right, I need more planks. Loads more planks. I keep climbing this staircase like 8 times today. Oh, right. We need enough space so that this thing here, which is called a floor, expands all the way out so that we can at least get inside of that section. But I don't think we need this section here. Do we? I don't think so. I reckon we have a very, very small bunkhouse portion, kind of like in here, where it's literally like 4 beds max. I don't think there would be a lot of beds here, not in this section. Maybe more beds over in that section, not in here, because this is like prioritizing the canteen side of things. So then we've got the upstairs access to this tower, which that's a whole nother pissing ball game, a whole nother issue that we'll cross when we get there. And then we need to build up the rest of the building. Let me just figure out how big this thing's gonna be. See, because I inverted it there, so it's awkward. I'm just not making life easier for myself at all. And I don't know why. Let's figure this out together. We'll figure it out together. Okay, I think just the entire building is going to have to come up by a second floor, and then we just add the roof on top. Yep, sounds like a deal. Let's do it. Oh my god, look how many mobs are down there. Oh, that's so many. Oh, go away. Stop being mean. Holy shit. That is so many. Why are you all shooting at me? Piss off. I didn't realize that I had like none of this up here spawn proofed. Completely forgot that it was just pitch black darkness here. Right, second floor added. I'm thinking like some sort of archway maybe across that roof. Let's head up here. Okay, so we want window. 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 And window. Window. So far, so good. Then we want, I reckon, windows going across. So, like, 1, 2 there. You bastard, you! This fucking block. And then 2 there. I don't need one in the corner. I'm not bothered that it's, like, not symmetrical. I think that sometimes the best things in Minecraft don't look symmetrical, I say as I try to convince myself. But it's fine. So I'm going to leave this section open. We're going to have like a railing kind of thing across here. I don't really know how big this gap will end up being, but I want this to stay open to add like a bit of spatialness to the whole place. Let me just go ahead and add this onto here. Right, and then the roof. I think we might be able to get away with doing if I get... Okay. I might be able to get away with doing like an A-frame. But then we add like a little A-frame on the side of the building here with maybe like an overhang. going across there. I really like that idea, so that it's cropped there, but it's not for the roof, if that makes any sense. Like that. I kind of like that. We put some stairs underneath there to like morph it in a little bit better. We could throw some cobblestone walls into this thing so that it's not as plain looking. And I think we're on to something. Okay, so I did a little bit. Okay, so I did a little bit of building off camera, as they say. I've done quite a bit. I've done a fair share, haven't I? I feel like I've done quite a bit. I'm really happy with how this turned out, though. So I did a bit of an experiment a while back. It was maybe last year. No, it was this year. It was definitely this year because I updated to the Trial Ruins update on that world. I think I maybe started it before that, but then updated to that update. But on that like trial world, I built a very similar looking barracks with like the hanging signs and things, and I really enjoyed how it looked, and I've tried to bring that over to this, and I think I've succeeded. I'm really happy with how these barracks have turned out, so let me run you through what exactly the point of these two buildings are, because obviously they're not completely finished, but they will be very, very soon. And I have the interiors of these things to do. So I did this one on camera, right? So we've got the little entryway here, which will be walled off for the most part. This one's going to be more of like a social area. I want to have like a canteen kind of down at the bottom. A sort of social seating area with an upstairs space for a few beds, but it's mostly going to be more like lounging area for soldiers to come and hang out basically in between shifts. If they're on a break from patrolling the walls or out patrolling wherever, this is kind of where they come. If you're finishing up a shift and you've got to go, like, you know, come get changed or whatever, and you know you want to get changed before you go home, this is, I'm putting too much thought into this, I know, but this is where you would come basically, is this building here. And this building has access to the tower that then bridges across to that tower and goes into this building, or you can come obviously back down through the door and out into here. This one here is going to be more of your traditional bunkhouse. So in here, straight off the bat, there would be, I imagine, like a fireplace. I really like the idea of this room looking very, very warm. Like a large kind of seating area, like around the fireplace here. And then obviously, the back door over here would lead out into the training yard, right? We already spoke about adding a training yard to the side. I need to go find a bed real quick, because there are zombies underneath that section there. I know me sleeping's probably not going to get rid of them, but just to prevent me getting blown up. So, on the back section of this building here, I think I would probably, like, wall this off, and in this back section, put, like, a little miniature armory with some crossbows, some tables, you know, have some tool racks with some weapons on. Then we're going to come upstairs, and all of this up here would be more bunkhouse space and more storage, basically. We're going to use this as a lot of, like, crafting areas, a lot of stuff for the soldiers kind of to be working on if you're, like, if you've been assigned the role of being a soldier or, like, a guard, a patrolling guard or whatever, you're not always going to be out patrolling, out on your horse, you know, out walking the walls, out patrolling the streets. You would go on rotation. You would, like, you know, come up and check the stock, you know, work on sharpening the tools, things like that. So I like the idea that this building here has, like, multifunction, basically. And then you come out the back here, and I want to have a big training area. So we want to have, like, an archery range, and we want to have, like, a melee section. So I think if we head over to go grab some wood, which I should have some laying around, I'm hoping. Maybe I don't, because I did take a bunch of stuff. I had, like, so I had shulkers just laying down everywhere here, and I, like, scooped everything up. So I'm not sure where a lot of my stuff has actually gone. I think I've put a lot of it through the auto sorter, to be honest. Okay, yeah, I ain't getting no wood out of that. We'll just go quickly chop a tree. Because I wanted to take a look. I think we can make... Is it a scarecrow or is it an actual training dummy? I'm not sure. Let me scoop up all that. God, I will never get over how useful that add-on is. Oh, it's so nice being able to just create my world without, like, too much limitation. Like, the survival aspect is there, but it's not hindering me in any way, and it's wonderful. Okay. We can make things like, you probably saw there, we can make, like, these pebbles, but I don't really know... Like, I don't mind them, but they kind of just... I don't know. I think they would look better around, like, a river than they would in the road. Also, do they not stack? Okay, they do. They just picked up weird. Okay, let me take a look in here real quick. So we've got armor stands, right? We already know we can mess around with them, and I think I can add a texture to them to make them look like a training dummy anyway. But I think pitchfork in a haystack. Ah. Okay, so there is a scarecrow. I wasn't sure if it was a scarecrow or a training dummy. I'm gonna just double check. No. What about if I put just like a dummy in there? No? Okay. Maybe we'll do it for an armor stand then. Okay, so I couldn't actually get the pack that I was looking for. It turns out, I'm pretty certain it's been unavailable. It's been like discontinued. So I was like jumping in and out of the world, that's why everything's re-rendering. Because I was like taking the pack off, putting it on, trying to find a different pack, whatever. But I've settled on this one. There's quite a lot of texture packs similar to this that change armor stands. It's a very simple change, but I quite like it. What I'll do is I'll deck this guy out in some armor. Probably throw like a wooden sword on him. And I don't know, I think I'm going to decorate the training grounds and stuff and get all this kind of thing done off camera and then update you guys after I've done it. But I just sort of wanted to establish like what exactly I wanted to do. And I think over here, I want to have a stables. I think it would be cool to have a little stables set up here. I don't really know how I'm going to do it. I think my initial plan was to have it so that like the entrance to the stables would be over here and you would like walk in this way, but I think it makes more sense for you to only be able to access it from in here. So maybe we could have like either little pens with horses in, or you walk in and it's like one big kind of open stable area. But this is going to be like right next to also a row of houses as well. I can push this back and like widen the area if needed, but I wanted it to be like well integrated into the space. So basically like this is the widest road that I think you would have because it's near the entrance. So you walk in, the road very quickly narrows when you go down this way towards the residential area. I don't know if it will narrow this much. I might push this back a little bit, like by a couple of blocks, because it is a lot more narrow than I expected it to be, especially with like the overhangs and stuff. I want it to look like you could at least get one wagon down there. Unless we just have signs up, I don't really know. And like, we just sort of say that wagons can only go in certain areas of the city, which I don't mind. I don't mind that. It kind of makes like, from the entrance there down this road here, the main road. So, and that's not really what I was going for, but we can. And like that main road would go all the way down here, and then like probably follow down here, and then like follow that down there straight down to the market square. Whereas this road here that kind of loops round through this residential area, it's going to be a lot smaller, a lot more cramped. Maybe you wouldn't want to take a wagon down there. I kind of like that idea, you know. That's not terrible. Ooh. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So yeah, the next task for me to do is I want to finish off this back section of the barracks. I've got to get the interiors done. I don't have a wall design yet, so I'm kind of just holding off on doing any walls like whatsoever. But I want to get like all of this area worked on and maybe start cracking up a few houses on like this section here so that we can really bring this whole entryway together. So I hope you've enjoyed that, me working on these barracks and this gatehouse and this whole entryway area. It's really coming together and I'm very, very happy with it. So as I skip to daytime in our lovely new bed, I've added in the Plenty of Blocks book, which I suppose we'll take a glance at it real quick. So a lot of the blocks you can just throw straight into. Oh, you can craft blocks here or use a default craftable. A craftable. A craft table. We've got a new crafting table. We've got loads of different crafting table designs because of these add-ons. But yeah, most things can just get thrown straight into a stone cutter. But these are some examples of some of the new blocks that we didn't look at in creative. So yeah, we've got some new variations and stuff. A lot of stuff to play around with and a lot for texturing, basically. I think that's what the majority of stuff is going to be used for. I mean, I'm not going to use a lot of the ice, packed ice, blue ice, purple, endstone, maybe some bone blocks, depending on what they look like in the whitewash. I'm not going to use a lot of prismarine, really. Again, unless for texturing. We might use some of the deep slate. Some of the deep slate looks nice. A lot of the nether blocks I can't see me using, and some of the copper and like iron and things I could maybe see me using, but it's going to be in very specific circumstances. So you might be thinking, well, if you're not going to use any of them, then what's the point? But a lot of these are kind of like very niche, specific kind of blocks. So, I mean, I'm sure I'll end up using some of these wood blocks and some of these terracotta blocks and stuff. It's just a case of finding the right scenario for them. And I'll probably definitely use some of these redstone lamps and like some of the hay bales and some of the glass and things like that. So there's all sorts of stuff. Like there's some medieval glass textures there that might be worth me using instead of the stuff from this add-on here. But that's just a case of me going out and actually testing it. Okay. So let's go downstairs. I'm going to show you guys the furniture add-on real quick that we are using. I think this is by XP Games, but I'm not too sure. Isn't it wonderful? It's nice and Minecrafty. It's nice and it's like base game friendly enough that I like using it. So yeah, I decorated this place, little kitchen living room area. I quite like it. I will decorate as much interior as I can in this place, but no promises. So, we've got Tinkers to work on. Now, Tinkers, I have to go find the book for because I don't know where I've put the book. Is that the book? No, that's Guide to Furniture. Is it XP Games? It is. Okay, that was a good guess. So, this is the shop that I've got currently set up for my blacksmith, but I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to use it for like a Tinker's blacksmith. I like the idea of Dollarhide having two, and maybe we have kind of like more of a common blacksmith, which would be this one, and maybe we can find a location to do like a larger, kind of like a Yorland, Greymane, Skyrim, Whiterun kind of blacksmith, where it's a special kind of forge that's being constructed. But of course, we've got to try and find a location for that. Now, I had already been working on expanding out this section over here. Excuse me. This section over here for bringing like a road around. So I want the road to kind of like, it's going up there, it's going to go up there and like round to the spawn, but I also want it to diverge off and go to a little area here. And this could be a pretty good spot for a little blacksmith. A little specialist, God, if I can try and say it without having some sort of lisp, a specialist blacksmith that specializes on Tinker's Construct. Let me go ahead and empty my inventory, and we will go grab what we need to work on Tinker's Construct. Okay, I know that my book is in here somewhere. I'm sure it is. I don't think it's a lot to craft the book if it's not in here. Is it materials and me? Materials and you, materials and me. Yes, I just need a book and a clear plate thing. A little plate thing. Can you only make a plate thing from oak? No, you need to make a blank pattern out of sticks. I see, I'm a dum-dum. There we go. And now I need a book. I don't know if I have a book. Not a spare book. I've got these. Can I use one of these? I need a grindstone. God, now you're asking. I don't know if I've got a grindstone. Oh, my days. Have we got books here? Oh. Oh, wait. Ah ha ha! We shall take that book. And then... materials and you! Okay, where are we starting from with this thing? Boom. Materials and you. By Selena. Don't know who Selena is. 2.0, the official Bedrock edition of the original Java mod. So, pattern crafting. We need to create a blank pattern, which we know how to do. We need to create a stencil table so that we can actually make the parts. So we need a blank pattern and a plank. Which we have one of both. There we go, we've got a stencil table. Oh, go back. Ready to forge your own path? Here's how. Grab a blank pattern, open the stencil table, use the in-game crafting guide to find the desired toolpart pattern. Is that it? Oh no. Then we need a part to build a crafting. Okay, 1 second. Let me go ahead and grab a log. We can go ahead and build a part crafter, part builder. Tinker's Station Crafting. We also need one of them. I need more planks. More planks, more logs, more of everything. I'm going to make one of them. Stencil Tinker Station Part Builder. So we're at a Tinker Station. Don't worry if you run out of patterns. Crafting more blank patterns is quick and easy. The Forge beckons. Craft your first tool. I don't want to craft a tool out of like the naff stuff that we've got, to be honest with you. So we need to make like a wooden handle. We need string for the binding of it, and then we need the material for the actual head of the weapon. Melee harvest materials. We've got like the breakdown for the wooden materials, the breakdown for the stone, and the breakdown for the bone. String, which we can get string from plant fibers now, and we can make pickaxes, axes, shoals, which I think is a shovel and a hoe, a dagger, sword, cleaver, and a bow. So, yeah, we've got the breakdown of like handle, binding, pickaxe head, handle, binding, axe head. And it shows you like all the pieces that you'll need for everything. Oh, even the bow. Bows look cool. Okay. Bows can be crafted at the Tinker Station. The crafting recipe is a variation of the vanilla bow. So we've got all the materials and the traits. Everything now has a trait in this game. Everything has like a special sort of ability. Repairing tools in Tinkers. Now, I'm going to just put mending on everything. But repairing tools is probably quite important. So you can craft a repair kit for a certain type of material, like a stone repair kit, a wood repair kit, and I'm guessing like so on and so forth. So we need to make some grout. This is the thing that we need. So we need clay, we need gravel, and we need sand. Now then, I don't know how much of all of those we've actually got. But we can take a gander. I think we might have some sand over here. No? Did I smelt it all? Possibly. We may have to venture off to find some. I don't know if we've got any clay either, because I don't really go out to get clay. We've not got any down here. That's not good. Let me go downstairs. Any clay, any sand, any clay, any sand? It doesn't look like it. We've got loads of gravel, that's for certain. But yeah, it looks like we're missing clay and sand. I mean, sand's fairly easy to go get. Oh, we've got... Hold up. Oh my god, there's like a stack of gunpowder there. I didn't even know. I've been struggling for rockets. I had no idea that was there. Aha, we've got some sand. Yeah, it's just the clay that we're missing. But I feel like... Did I auto-sort clay? I feel like I could have. But maybe I didn't. I got to the point with the auto-sorter where I was just like throwing everything down so that it just got auto-sorted. Because I can go around and arrange everything in the auto-sorter after at a later stage. That's not an issue. The issue is like just staying on top of the sheer amount of stuff that is in this game. And I haven't really helped myself by adding in 850 block variations. But again, I'm not going to be using all of them, and I reckon I can probably handpick quite a few of them into just generalized chests. Let me go ahead and make some rockets, and we shall go get some clay manually. The dreaded word, manually. Okay, so we've got all 3 materials. Probably got enough to craft the actual smelter that we're going to be building here. God, you get a sense of scale of these mountains from this side. It's been a little while since I flew into Dollarhide from that side. And it is one hell of a mess, but it's got some scale to it. It looks kind of cool. Right, I'm just going to throw those down in there because they're quite easy to make. Let me go grab some gravel. And... there we go. Is that going to be enough to make grout? Yes, we've got loads of grout available. Right, and then I think we smelt the grout to make seared bricks. So let me go ahead and throw it in my little makeshift auto smelter here. Not auto smelter, my makeshift mega smelter. It's as close to a mega smelter as I'm getting. So while that's smelting, we've got to go ahead and make the puny smelting by Prologue book, which requires a grout. Oh my god, I got to get a grout. Come back. I have to get a grout back. Whoa! Holy shit. That was loud. We need a grout and we need a book. I'm going to go grab a book. Can I use materials and you for it? No? That's fine. I don't care. I'll just use one of these until we've ran out. I might need to keep a couple of these on me. Just as we go, because I think there's even more that we can make. So, book number 2. Puny smelting. With me and you. With me and Prologue. Okay, so we smelt that. Yep. Smelt grout in a furnace. For seared bricks, craft 4 seared bricks for a block. Seared cobblestone, which looks quite cool actually, like a dark cobble, and seared stone. Seared brick cracked, seared paver. These are all new, I think. I think there's quite a few of these that are new. Pop these blocks in a stone cutter for even more design options. So we've got a whole set of seared brick blocks. But we want to be making the melter. So this is your basic melter, perfect for getting started with simple tasks. So we need 3 seared blocks, 4 seared bricks, 1 seared glass, and a furnace. We'll start with the easiest out of that lot, and we'll go get a furnace, because we've got copious amounts of cobblestone. He says, and then picks out 1 block. It's not a good start, is it? Go ahead and throw that back in there. And then I'm hoping that we've got enough stuff smelted now. Got seared brick. Seared brick. Seared brick. And we're going to have around a stack, which is quite a bit to be fair. So we want to be making at least 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. And then we want a glass piece so that we can make seared glass. And I think we're going to need more of that later on. So I'm going to keep some of the glass on me. Good God almighty, man. I'm just going to quickly jump into bed because it's loud as shit outside. Okay. And we want a seared glass block. And then we're making a melter. Brilliant. So, master the melter. This handy tool has two parts in one. The heater and the tank. Throw in some coal or charcoal to get the fire going. A bar shows how much fuel remains. I wasn't expecting what you're gawking at, Tinker. Never seen someone like me before. You've got the hang of melting. Tinker, now, the burning question. How do we get that molten metal out of there? Yeah. Okay, so if we put... I've got to actually get some ore, because we don't have any. We're going to put down the melter. I'm going to put the melter down over here. All of this will get moved upstairs at some point pretty soon. I just need to get everything else sorted for it. And I think we've got iron ore down here? Question mark? I hope. No? Maybe it's in the overflow. Maybe I just never sorted that. Right, so now let me grab some fuel. We're going to grab some charcoal from the back of here. I would imagine that 16 is enough. And I think it acts like a campfire. Okay, so 8 was enough. And then we can throw that in there, and that will start smelting that iron into molten iron. But we need some way of getting it back out of there. So this is where copper comes in handy, because we're going to be able to make some copper cans. So if I head down here, and we'll grab some copper ingots... We can, I think it's the same recipe as an iron bucket. We can make some copper cans. Yep. We can make 3 of them. More than enough. So then, boom, boom, boom. So now we have molten iron. 200 MB, which I don't know what that means. I'm going to call it megabytes, because that's the only thing that I can think of right now. We've got 200 megabytes of copper. Of iron, rather. Not even of copper. Let's throw that in there. With the copper. Couldn't think of what it was called. Okay. Yep, we've mastered cans. We've done that. So now we need a casting table, which we've got enough seared brick on us for. And the casting table lets us put a stencil in it. With, in fact, I'm going to need a casting basin, and I think I'm going to need a seared tank at some point further down the line. But I'm fairly certain we can put a stencil within the casting table and then put the iron inside of that and it'll set it. I'm going to put that there. Okay. So let's make... So we're making an iron tool, basically. We shall use... 1 second. What am I doing? I'm going to turn... No, can't do that in there. I'll turn them into there. Give me some of them, and I'm going to make some blank patterns. And then we're going to put the blank patterns into... No, we're not. Well, we're going to put them into... we're going to put them into... I've forgotten how to do it. Oh, Blackadder. I've forgotten how to do it. Materials and you, we've got to go back. For God's sake. Okay. Wait a second. I need some cobble. My parts builder. I need to go in... Okay, wait. I put my stencil into the stencil table, which is this one. Yes? Aye? Aye? We? No. What's wrong with it? What am I doing wrong? I don't understand. Okay, so I definitely recorded the first part of this video before the last episode, and because Tinker's construct was broken, I gotta put the back on my controller, sorry. I took a break and went off and did some building and stuff. They ended up updating it like the next day, but I just never got around to actually working on it. So we're going to come back and we're going to have a bit of a play around. I apologise if like I sound weird or if I managed to not cut out any weird noises that my body decides to make because I'm ill. I'm not feeling too great, but I thought, you know what, Tinker's Construct is pretty chilled out, not very taxing on the old body, so why not? Now, did we even get through this part? I don't think we did we? We couldn't make any parts. I did, like, everything but the beginning. I made this bit here, but I couldn't make any actual parts for it, so I don't know which one it wants me to make first. Part builder, use the in-game crafting guide. Tinker's Station. Right, 1 second. So, this is our part builder. Okay. Because we do have some parts, right? Or is that... Wait a second. No, okay. I need some cobble. I need a little bit of cobblestone. Have I got any... Aha. Let's just make like a really basic... If we do like a handle and an axe head. And then we do boom. Boom. We make those parts. Tinker's Station Crafting. Which I believe is this. No, that's the stencil table. Tinker Station. Here we go. I'm missing like a binding thing. I need to make a binding out of string. So grab the binding pattern. Let's go in here. I'm going to make 2 string bindings if I can. I can. Brilliant. Then we go into here. And is it not like that, and that? Yeah. Okay, so that's our first tinker tool. It's only a stone axe. It's not anything special. But we made a tinker tool. So... let's cycle through here. That's all the benefits of the basic stuff. We've got like... so everything's got a trait to it. So, undead, summoner. What did wood have? Cultivation. We've got string, the tools, hand axe, pickaxe, shoal, sword, cleaver, dagger, bow. So the material traits that we've got... Undead. Striking undead mobs like zombies and husks transforms them into skeletons. Additionally, all defeated mobs now drop bones and bone meal. So that's really great. Completely eliminates our need for a bone meal farm. Or at least provides us with more to fuel our other farms. Nothing about the cultivation one though. I wonder if maybe they just don't. So we got to do puny smelting. I'm sure I made that last time, did I not? I don't know. I thought I made it last time. But I don't know where I would have put it. Aha! It's in here. Puny smelting. So that's how, because we did this little section here, didn't we? So grout and seared bricks, blah blah blah. This is how we make all the seared blocks. Brilliant. The melter, which is what we made before. Melt some ore, which I did. But, oh, we did put it into some cans. Oh. Iron and copper can. Bucket. Casting table. So this is the point that we got up to. So I need to make a casting table. And we need to make a sand cast. Craft a sand cast using 1 piece of sand. Put the sand cast on the casting table by interacting with it. Add a stone part to actually make the cast of it. That was the part that I was getting stuck with because I couldn't make any of the actual parts for it. So I've got sand. Let me just get rid of some of this because we've got so much just stuff laying around right now. And I think we want to be making a sword. I'm going to grab just a little bit of extra stuff there. I want to make cleaver... dagger, sword. Dagger, crossguard, cleaver guard. I guess we'll go for a cleaver guard. Cleaver pattern. Oh, I even have the thing there. So I can put... No, that's not right. Okay. So we've got the stone cleaver blade. Place that in there. And then take that back. And then we've got our... molten iron here. Boom. Nice. So now we've got a an iron cleaver blade. Brilliant. So now I just need to do the same thing but with the handle. So put that down there. We'll go ahead and put the handle in there to like imprint it. Give me that back. I'm going to need like a whole chest for just different parts and things really. Put that there. Yoink. And then we should be able to combine that with that with that. No? Oh no. Oh no. What have I done? Does it go like that way? How do I make this thing? What have I done? I haven't correctly crafted the cleaver. What bit am I missing from the cleaver? So we can make gold casts, which I think last longer or are permanent compared to like the sand ones. Solid blocks, alloy crafter so that we can make new materials, like new metals. We've got magnetic iron trait, speed gold trait, tasty pig iron trait, and then experienced rose gold trait. So magnetic creates a magnetic field that attracts materials. That's pretty cool. And then speed channels a rush of energy, granting heightened speed when wielded. When used for tasty, grants high saturation for an extended period, reducing hunger depletion. And then experienced increases the amount of experience you get from defeating mobs and mining ores. And then the next step is to craft with a seared brick and a book, Mighty Smelting, which I believe is the final one. So, Tinker's Mighty Smelting. Let's take a look. So, we've got the Tinker's Anvils, which Legendary Tinker's Anvil starter kit forge. Imagine crafting weapons so epic they could fell a dragon and armor tougher than a troll's hide. Let me stand up on here. I don't know why, I just feel a little bit safer. So the Tinker's Anvil. Ah! So that's why I couldn't make the cleaver. We needed to make a Tinker's Anvil. Okay, let's make one of them so that I haven't completely wasted making that cleaver. Even though, oh, to be fair, that cleaver was kind of naff, so I've changed my mind. We'll leave it for now. So, we need to make a smeltery controller because we're going to be crafting our actual smelter. Now, I discussed it in a previous video, but I've got a location for this smelter. It's going to be up top. We're going to have a build centered around it. We've got a whole area planned. So, I'm going to craft all the bits and pieces that we need for this. I'm going to get this thing constructed. Because once it is done, we're pretty much ready to go. Okay, so I'm back down near the entrance, which we worked on last episode, and I wanted to come over here because I've been doing some work on here, and you're going to see it in the background of me doing, you know, the Tinker stuff anyway, so I just wanted to come over and actually show you guys the work I've been doing. And I've been getting a lot of houses set up, basically, and trying to actually form our streets together. So this street going around here is going to be called the Fold because it folds all the way around. And this one that goes down here, I haven't really decided on a name for this one. I'm thinking of March Way. Don't know why. But yeah, I want to like name districts and name streets and stuff and have like certain places have certain things because of certain reasons, and you know, we'll cover all that when we actually get there, when we get to doing them, but I wanted to show you guys what I've been working on. So this is the training yard that I mentioned last episode with the adjacent sort of stables connected to it. I set up this nice cobblestone wall kind of thing here, training yard, guard access only, and then we'd have like a guard posted out there. We've got like an area here for them to get the horses out, and then just setting up the houses here, which you get a kind of sense for what the streets will look like. Even though I haven't fully finished yet, you still get a good idea of the sense of scale and stuff. So I just wanted to show you guys that before, you know, you saw it in the background and were like, hey, hold up. Okay, so this bad boy is set up. Oh, have I duplicated lava? Oh my god. I did not mean to do that. Oh, it didn't dupe it! I swear it was in my inventory just then. Well, that's the pain in the backside. Anyway, let's take a look here. So we've got to make an alloy crafter, but I'm not really bothered about that right now. So we need this big boy to basically smelt like our amethyst, our diamond, cobalt, ardite, slime steel, all of that stuff. So we've got to put blazing lava. Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. A blaze head. By defeating a blaze in the nether with a cleaver. Okay, we've got a process here for this. Okay. I'm going to have to go find a nether fortress, which that was not on my to-do list, I'm not going to lie. So blazing lava, we need a source of that. We need like a blaze killing zone. We've got Manulian, Hepatizen, and Netherite. The smithing table empowers you to transform your forged diamond parts into mighty Netherite pieces. Additionally, it allows you to add stylish trims. Oh, a rose gold embellishment. Look at that. So we've got our material lists. So feel free to take a pause and take a look at this. But basically, plunder is the main one that I want. Slain foes shower you with riches with a chance for their loot to become more plentiful. Plunder is really, really good and basically gives us, like, looting and fortune, like, 5 and 6. It's pretty insane. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Tinkers. The next step is for me to bring, like, everything from downstairs upstairs, get it all decorated up here so that it actually matches us lore-wise. I want to decorate this smelter a little bit more and get it looking pretty cool. I would imagine the next big build that I do for, like, purely a video will probably be the blacksmith over here. I just need to figure out an actual design for it. So once I've done that, we'll be underway. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It was a bit of a weird, disjointed episode because I like did a bunch of stuff in the first session and then took a break. But yeah, a bit of an update on the street as well. I will crack on with the guard towers. I'm not just going to leave them to slowly wither away. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with working along with Tinker's. Got to get the whole blaze lava situation sorted. That's going to be pretty fun. Oh look, there's stuff in here. Plenty of blocks tutorials. Hello. And we've got some cobalt, which we can now actually smelt because of this bad boy. So we can make some cobalt tools. I don't know what cobalt, the benefit of cobalt is, but I know it's a pretty good, it's on like diamond tier, cobalt. Killager, so it gives me more emeralds, and it increases my chance of getting Hero of the Village for just killing pillagers, which is pretty cool. I don't have to like actually do a raid. I can just, basically it benefits my trades, which I'm definitely not going to be against. I could do with some Manulian though. Manulian is the one that we want. Do.